I'm Dr. Duke, and I'm joined today by Greg Spiers. I met Greg about a month ago when I was giving some talks down in Louisiana. Greg is running for BESE Board in Louisiana, which is basically the organization that has the most control over what happens with your kids' schools. Greg, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pesta. Glad to be here.
Well, we're looking forward to this. Your election's 2 weeks away, so it's going to happen really quick. Tell the moms and dads out there your platform for the BESE Board.
So our platform is fairly clear. We look to remove and replace the Common Core standards that have been adopted here in Louisiana about 8 years ago. We look to hire a new and capable state superintendent to run our schools. We look to give our local school districts back the authority that they need to run their and operate their schools. And we look to put a plug in the teacher attrition rate that's been occurring over the last decade or so.
Yeah, unfortunately, Louisiana remains at the bottom of the national school standards, right? Louisiana's been struggling for a long time. And you were promised, weren't you, in New Orleans, in Louisiana? You were promised that Common Core was going to fix this. It clearly has not. In some ways, it's made it a lot worse. How will you, Greg, respond when you get on the BESE Board to the argument that we keep hearing that, oh, we don't have Common Core in this country anymore. We don't have Common Core in Louisiana. We've rebranded. How do you handle that?
Well, I've heard it on the campaign trail by some of my opponents that Common Core was an issue that we dealt with 4 years ago, and it's not really an issue today. Well, if you hold up the Common Core standards and the Louisiana State Student Standards side by side, the only difference you'll see is a few letters have been capitalized in the new standards.
Yeah, so you're getting a lot of lying from those who are already protecting the system. You also have a really dangerously rogue superintendent of schools, somebody who really doesn't, Superintendent White, who does not represent the values of Louisianans. What do you think will happen if you get on BESE? How easy will it be to make that transition to somebody who's really effective?
Well, it all depends on how the residents all across Louisiana are going to vote this term. We have seen the degradation of education, the continued degradation of education over the last 2 terms under Superintendent White. And we have to get all of our districts to pull together and our residents to understand and prioritize education in our state. And only then are we going to be able to make realistic changes.
And if the people of Louisiana put you on this board and some other capable people who want to see change, what kind of things would you like to fix? What would be some of the top targets that you could change immediately that would ease up on some of these national regulations and standards and make Louisiana education more effective?
Absolutely. The first thing I'd like to do is to address our teacher attrition rate in Louisiana. I'd like to deregulate some of the penalties that we're assigning our teachers' evaluations and our school accountability system based almost entirely on student test scores. I would like to give some of the authority back to our local school districts to address discipline in the classroom, curriculum concerns, and other issues at the local level. And, we're going to start there. We're going to try to get a new superintendent that cares about the education in the state of Louisiana.
I love what I'm hearing, Greg. I really do. The testing standards, this idea that we're basing everything on tests is ridiculous. It's handcuffing teachers, it's handcuffing students. And the fact that you brought up discipline, one of the Obama initiatives made it very difficult for teachers to actually remove misbehaving kids. And if you don't have a disciplined classroom, then you're not going to be able to educate kids at all.
That's right. I was a teacher, taught a math class and for 2 years here at a local high school. And it's very difficult. I have firsthand knowledge to know that it is difficult to reach every child in my class, which I had over 180 students every day across 6 hours in my classroom. So that's another thing, that our class sizes are too large. Our teachers are having a difficult time reaching every student, and it's unacceptable not to be able to provide every single student in Louisiana with a quality education.
So somebody who's lived in Louisiana almost all your life, and this is just it's an opinion, right? Just somebody who's lived there. Why has Louisiana struggled perhaps more than other states? Why have other states who've labored under things like Common Core and federal intervention, why has Louisiana sort of fallen behind even them?
Well, I think it's a society issue. It's all about what you prioritize in your communities. Louisiana, it has traditionally been a high poverty state, which statistics have shown that poverty is tied to low education rates. but that's not an ongoing conclusion. We do have local school districts here in Louisiana that can rival any county in the nation with that has poverty in their we call them parishes, but the parish that I live in, Livingston Parish, has done incredible things. We're in the top 5 school districts in the state, and in the bottom 10 school districts for per pupil funding in the state. So we have a large high poverty rate here, and but it's all about a society of heart. Where we put our heart is what we value. It seems that we value politics and healthcare way more than we do education in this state, and I think there's a real movement to change that and to help promote education here.
Where can people go to see you, and give us the information for your website so anyone who wants to connect with you that way?
Yeah, please reach out to my website at www.gregforbese.com. That's GregForbese.com, or look us up on Facebook at Greg for Bese.